Hello, I'm Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic, and today I wanted to walk you through some homemade Christmas cards that I've made. So this isn't a process video, this is really just to give you some ideas of different ways you can embellish and make your own from your stash that you may have. So I'm going to talk you through some techniques and the process that I came to do these particular 10 cards. So first of all, this is just done with normal paper. I've got a background and then with some paper stock and then this one on top. Now this obviously is a picture in itself, so just to make this a little bit different, I put some pops of glue and then just some glitter around what this would be the string of lights. So you can see this one here, pretty simple, easy to do, and I've just used a journal card inside as well just to give it a bit more interest on this one. So this is a nice quick one if you've got lots of cards to do and you've already got something that you can use, and you could do this with any element in any picture that you see. Could be the parcels, the birds and so on, but this is a good way of using up some stock as well. So that's my first one. I think that would be a good one for a child, and that's one. Moving on to this one, so again I've used some paper. I've also used a journaling card on this one and used the same effect. I've applied glue and then glitter on these just to make it a little bit different and to stand out. I did try to do a Merry Christmas here, but as you can see the effect wore off pretty quick and it wasn't that good to stamp, so I wouldn't recommend stamping the Versamark and then applying with glitter. And I've just used a die cut on the inside as well on that one, again just as a bit more interest as a focal point. So yes, I did get a little bit carried away with glitter, I think. You can see here, this was a gift tag. I've put a little star on the top. I didn't have any gold ones, so I have coloured that gold. And then I've applied, again, little glue dots where they did have little red stars, and I've just changed that to glitter. I've also got some Kaiser cutouts, so I glued that on the bottom as well, just again for a bit more interest. And then another die cut in the middle here as well. So these were all very quick to make. Once I got going, probably an hour or so to do these. Excuse me. Now this one I tried to do a little bit different, although I love the glitter. You can see with this particular stamp the effect isn't very good, probably because of the green on green, but I used Versamark with a stamping print, and then I just used the green tinsel embossing powder. And I use white embossing for the snowflakes, but then they seemed just a bit too white, so I should use a clear one maybe, but I wanted it to match the frame of the card, so I went over it with the glue pen and then glittered that as well, and then just a bit of ribbon here as well, just to show you not to forget your ribbon stash. So that, again, nice quick card to do. And this is one of my favourites. Whenever I do get a pack of die cuts, I normally pick out some big ones that I know I wouldn't use in my project life just because of the size, but I think would be good for card making, and this is one of them. And again, same technique, picked a few things and then glued it and glittered it as well, which I think Christmas is in a time of year you can get away with so much sparkling glitter. It can tend to look childlike, but I think on this effect it looks really effective. And this was a stamp, Versamark, and then white emboss as well, just to help bring that out as well. I did a bit of a gold emboss on the inside. I really love the gold embossing. But yeah, that was to tie in with the gold writing at the front. Now again, this one I think looks really effective, but very simple to do. Used my T-ruler to make sure the first one was straight. And this was again off the Kaiser Craft list of sentiments that I've just stacked up in a random order. And kind of random order for the colours and font as well, just to break it up. This came with the set, and then I got these from another set, and then again I wanted a little bit of dimension, so I applied some liquid pearls on these just to make that a bit special. But yeah, I think the fact that the card itself's got the glitter on and it's got a shine really adds to the effect of that, the simpleness of that effect. If you don't have the sentiment cards, I would also consider, lots of us have got washi tape. This was just simple strips of washi tape. Again, I've kind of tried to make a good pattern so it isn't randomised on this one. So measure out your card, make sure it will all fit on. But I think that's a really good way of doing it as well. This was a little journal card that I got from Studio Calico. I don't have anything in this size, so these are always really good for me to put on cards. And this was just an embellishment that I'd got as well. So again, that was quite easy to make once we'd squared it up first. This is also one of my favourites. I've got 3 favourites out of this. This is one of them, and the simpleness of this as well. It is just paper cardstock, Christmas card, and then I've applied some little diamantes here with glue. I don't know if you can see, I've also applied some Wink of Stella around the centre just to give it a bit of a shine, because I do like that effect. But again, very simple and effective. I've used some more little cards on the inside as well, just where I can write my greetings, and it just gives it, added with this simpleness at the front, it still gives a little bit more on the inside. So I really like that colour and that effect with the envelope. This is a cautionary tale. This is where you could probably go wrong, definitely where I went wrong. I was trying to think of another way to use this paper, which I love, so I'd started putting all the little accents on, all the little bling. Then I'd found this die set that I thought the red would be nice, but yeah, I think it's just too overdone. Not something I'm going to be using. I'll probably pop off these and reuse, but yeah, I guess try not to put too much on, because it can then definitely look too much handmade and not very professional. That was my little sentiment on the inside of that one. So yeah, that's probably the worst one gone wrong, I think. And I've saved my favourite one to last. What I'm trying to say here is don't worry about going full on with your die cuts, but just remember to be cohesive with the back and the front. I think this works well, even though I've got a mash of die cuts, is because the colours are very simple and muted. The background fits in very well. They all blend. They're all from the same set, apart from this one, I believe. And the way that I've laid them as well is a bit of a cluster around the centre of this. Again, not gone overboard, tried to keep it simple, just to keep into 1 or 2 effects per card. So on this one, obviously it's die cuts with these little bling embellishments. On some of the others it was embossing, powder, glitter, but I think you get the feel of it here. And on the inside, I still wanted to do a little bit more, so the paper's on the inside on this one with, again, another journal card. And I don't know if you can see this Christmas tree shining. It looks really cute in real life, but again, Wink of Stella on the trees, just to add a bit of dimension to it. So yeah, it is tempting to go all out and use everything you've got, and it's really just a case of being mindful so you don't get this kind of effect going on. And it is trial and error, and it's all personal taste as well, of course. I say this is my favourite, as well as this. Some of these as well, a great way to use up your washi if indeed you do want to use up your washi. I know it's easy to audit, but again, some of these are a great way to get rid of some of the stash that you may have that you're holding on to a bit long. So a lot of these are from previous years. Oh, and I've just noticed actually on this one I've got a little stamp on some of these. So don't forget, if you're hand making cards, make sure the people receiving them know you've put that effort in as well. Like I say, some effort might not be a lot in terms of this, but the fact that you have spent that time and handcrafted it, I think should not go unnoticed. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's inspired you. I hope you're getting organised with your Christmas cards. Please check in. I'm going to try and keep a Christmas theme going throughout December. And thank you very much for watching.